Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be covering the Fantastic Four, a unreleased film from 1994. Now, it's a little confusing on how this movie was made, because I believe that the actors who played the main Fantastic Four, Ben Grimm, Reed Richards, Sue Storm, and Johnny Storm, were all tricked into making this movie. They didn't know they were making a Fantastic Four movie. But yeah, I guess they were tricked into making it. I've heard that a lot before, but I've also heard. I guess I haven't heard that they weren't tricked. So they could have been. Um, yeah. So anyway, the Fantastic Four, released in 1994, it begins with Reed Richards in college, working on a project with Victor Von Doom. Um, they're trying to like harness the power. Well, not like harness the power, but they're kind of like they're trying to like get in like contact with a comet called Colossus, and the project goes wrong, and Victor Von Doom is killed. Spoiler alert: he's not. Um, and 10 years later, when and also okay, something I should note: it's really weird because like he's in college, right? But Johnny and Sue, they're just kids. They're like, I think Sue's like 12 and Johnny's like 8. It's a little weird because like Reed's in like college and there's a time skip. Uh, like after Victor dies, 10 years later, some other stuff happens, and this is where like the main story takes place. 10 years later. So yeah, they're all grown up. Like Johnny's probably like 18 and Sue's like probably like 22. But it's still weird. I still think it's weird because that means like that Reed's like 30. Maybe it's not weird, and maybe it wasn't weird in the '90s. I just feel it's a little weird. Like Johnny and Sue are fucking youngins. It's oh my god, it's odd. But anyway, 10 years later, um, they are now trying to. Reed and Ben are, I guess, trying to like study. Yeah, study. Let's call it that. Study the same comet. The same comet. And they decide to recruit Johnny and Sue to go check it out. However, they have a diamond that is meant to like protect them from the you know cosmic rays that the comet is giving off. However, a villain named the Jeweler steals their diamond and replaces it with a fake. And the Jeweler is very eerily similar to the Mole Man, who is a very famous villain. He was in the First Steps. He was in First Steps, and yeah, he's very similar to that. Lives underground, has a bunch of mole people as henchmen, and even just like looks like Mole Man. But he's called the Jeweler, so I'm calling him the Jeweler. So yeah, the Jeweler replaces their diamond with a fake, and so when they go into space to study the Colossus, they're not protected with the diamond. So all the cosmic rays hit them. And get this. Reed Richards gets the power of stretch. He can stretch his limbs however he pleases. Sue Storm can become invisible and also gets like light manipulation. That's her main power, light manipulation. And Johnny gets the power of like fire manipulation or whatever. He can create fire from his body. Um, Ben Grimm, he becomes a rock guy, and he's super strong, super durable, bulletproof, all the gist, all the good stuff. Um, but yeah, their rocket like crashes on Earth, and they're kind of stranded for only for a night before the U.S. military um, gets in contact with them and takes them to kind of like a briefing room to see what happened, what the effects of the Colossus were, and all of that. Um, but spoiler alert, it's not the military. It's actually Victor Von Doom and his men. So after the Fantastic Four, um, are like just stuck in there for like hours on end. And they're not letting them go anywhere. They escape. They escape, find Doctor Doom, and escape the whole castle pretty much. Well, after that, Ben, and also something important I should note that happens before they go into space is there's a blind girl named Alicia Masters, pretty similar to Julie Masters. Just covered them in the Nicholas Howman kill count. Go watch that video. It's pretty cool. But a blind girl named Alicia Masters, who's like a clay artist, is kidnapped by the jeweler to be his queen. Um, and Ben and Alicia have a little moment, right? Alicia kind of like falls in love with him. The whole world. So like when the rocket exploded, everyone thought that the four were dead. So there was like a memorial that was being made for them, and Alicia was the one who was going to make the statues. And when she was reading the names and got to Ben Grimm, she was disappointed. So I don't know what this has to do with anything, but yeah. Anyway, so when the four return and they get back to the Baxter Building, Ben is being all mopey about how hideous he is. So he goes and pouts. He just separates from the Fantastic Four. It's now the Terrific Three. And ends up canoodling with the jeweler and his men. He doesn't know that Alicia was kidnapped. Right? That's kept hush hush from him. Anyway, so Doctor Doom he raids the jeweler's lair, stealing the real diamond that the jeweler stole, and he succeeds. He steals the real diamond and is going to use it for a death ray to like blow up New York. And so the Fantastic Four go to the evil lair where Doctor Doom uh, has the jewel. And I think what he's doing. So I guess what he's doing is he's trying to drain the powers of the Fantastic Four, and in a sense, draining the powers of Colossus. Um, and he fails because like Reed, like they're like the Fantastic Four are like in a bubble, right? And they're getting their powers drained. And Reed like stretches his foot and kicks the laser, so that way it like stops stealing their powers. But it still fires a laser towards New York, and it's actually a pretty cool scene. Johnny does the whole flame on thing, and he turns his whole body to fire, and he flies, and he races the laser to New York, and he like gets in front of it and puts a shield of fire stopping it. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool scene. I thought it was really cool of Johnny chasing the laser, of like racing it in a sense. I thought that was really cool. I thought that was a really cool scene. So I don't know if he needs Colossus to power the laser or the diamond. I don't know which one he needs, but he needs one of them. So anyway, he fires the laser. Johnny stops it, and Reed almost well. Here's what happens. So Reed starts going to town on Doctor Doom, punching him and giving him a good pummeling. And Reed, sorry, not Reed, Victor is on the edge of the castle. He's hanging on by a prayer. And Reed tries to save him, being the hero that he is, but Victor takes off his glove and falls to presumably his death. However, I guess his gloves are like neurologically connected because his glove, like, because Reed grabs his glove, and when Victor falls, Reed keeps the glove and like puts it on the ledge, right? But when he leaves, the glove starts moving. The little fingers start moving around. So I guess he's still alive. I didn't put him on the count. And there is kills here. Let me be clear. There are kills in this movie. I just wasn't gonna cover them because I didn't put that in the script. In fact, I don't have a script. But there is kills. There is kills. I will be going over right now. The ending is actually uh, uh, Reed and Sue getting married, and Ben is now with Alicia. So all is well. New York is saved. Doctor Doom is stopped. Reed and Sue get married, and Ben is living happily with Alicia. But yeah, like I said, there is kills. So in when they initially get kidnapped by Doctor Doom after the crash, two Doctor Doom grunts are killed by Sue, making them shoot each other. And it's a weird scene because like, so okay, here's what's happening, right? Here's Sue. There's two grunts on either side of Sue. Sue turns invisible, and they start a blasting. Well, they shoot each other, right? They shoot each other, they die. But and then she becomes uninvisible, and she's in the exact same spot, which doesn't really make sense because she can turn invisible. She doesn't become invulnerable, like bulletproof. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. So it's confusing. Maybe she just like manipulated the light to where like the bullets deflected off of her and just like hit the other. It's weird. I don't understand it. But either way, two of Doctor Doom's grunts end up shooting themselves, and kills 3 to 7 are all mole people in the jeweler's lair. I called them mole people because this guy was again essentially mole man. He's called the jeweler, so I guess the jeweler's men, um, but I'm calling them mole people. So a lot of the mole people died. 3 to 7 to be exact. So that's 5 mole people to be exact, and that's it. That's all the kills in this movie. So in total, there was 7 kills in the Fantastic Four 1994, and yeah, that's it. I, did you expect more? I said that these were going to be low effort due to time constraints set by myself. This is what's going to happen. I told you the plot of the movie. I told you how many kills there were. Uh, there were 7 kills. 2 of them were Doctor Doom grunts, and 5 of them were mole people in the jeweler's lair. That's it. If you enjoyed this video in particular, please consider leaving a like. It would really help my channel out a lot, and I would really, 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 really appreciate it. If you enjoy all my videos as a whole, and you end up finding yourself coming back on the regular, please consider subscribing. It would help my channel out a lot, and I would really, really appreciate it. But yeah, that's going to do it for me today. The next kill count will most likely be Generation X. So yeah, I will see you all in the next kill count.